Hello, friends. Welcome to Let the Light Travel. This is my cross-country interview series where I speak with spiritual healers that I meet across the U.S. Thanks for joining me. In this episode, we'll be talking to Sheila from Arkansas, and she will share her amazing wisdom and gifts with us. So join us in the tea room and get ready for an incredible interview. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the tea room.
Yes.
I'm sitting here with Sheila. It's a lovely morning here in Arkansas. And this series is called Let the Light Travel. I just named it, actually, just to represent letting energy flow to and from us and through connection with other people as Paxton and I travel around the United States. So today, I'm sitting here with Sheila. We synchronistically met as I stumbled into your beautiful tea room, and there's so much amazing energy here. So I wanted to connect with you because you teach a lot of things related to energy, aromatherapy, a lot of things. So if you could just tell me about yourself and some of the things you practice.
Long journey from way back when. I'll just kind of wind it around and say my grandparents were hill people. Uneducated, but they knew plants, they knew the woods, they knew the environment. And I developed an interest in that early on. As I started messing with plants. I don't know, I really liked them. After I became a nurse, I started looking at things other than just Western medicine.
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And this is kind of how I tell the students. You have to go back to the idea of what you believe causes disease or illness. And in Western medicine, that we think it's some kind of agent. It's a
external,
right. Pathogen. It may be a chemical, something like that, that gets you, makes you ill. And then how is that fixed? You have to go to somebody or do something yourself and have something to destroy or counter that.
Yep.
But when you think of it from the energy point of view, it's called naturalistic. And it means that when you're in harmony or in balance in several areas, you're healthy. When you get out of balance, and that's where the energy comes in. When you have energy blockages or your energy shuts down, thinking about, this fits in with yin and yang, opposites.
Yep.
Having the right balance in things. So when you develop illness there, how do you fix it? Well, you don't just take pills. You got to come up with a way, how can I balance my energies? Absolutely. And that's where you get into all of the different therapies that deal with that. There's also one other that it's called personalistic.
Okay.
And it means, that means you get ill based on a supernatural force.
Okay.
You will hear people, they still do. They're being punished for their sins. God's punishing them for their sins.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And personalistic,
yes.
Correct?
Or it could be a hex on you, a spell, curse from an ancestor. I don't know. So how do you fix that? Well, you have to undo it somehow,
right.
So it kind of depends on what you believe causes something as to how you go about doing it. And so in the energy, I got into mind-body therapies. I quit smoking using hypnosis in 1998. Wow. Nothing else would work. And frankly, I grew up Southern Baptist, and hypnosis was...
not something...
No, not something, But I tried it. It worked. And so I learned how to do it. I studied for it to work.
Yeah, the hypnosis.
I went in, and we had an hour session, and I came out, and I was a non-smoker. Yeah, really.
Wow.
So the nurse part of me said, you know what? You can help other people by, helping them with the hypnosis.
Yeah.
So I went to a training and got certified in it. Yeah. So I've been working with people for years, 22 years.
Do you conduct the hypnosis?
Yeah.
Live?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I do them here in my office.
And have you seen that create real change for other
Yes.
people as well?
Yes. Yeah.
Really? Like for what types of things do
Okay,
people
the
come to you
smoking.
for? Smoking.
Weight loss is very difficult. That's probably the most difficult to help because you're trying to help somebody change patterns in doing.
Definitely.
I have students who have test anxiety.
Oh, yeah.
These students have $80,000 worth of debt.
Yeah.
And when they graduate school, they can't pass their licensing exams or their final things. So they come see me, and I work with them with a hypnosis. Public speaking, performances, nail biting.
Wow. It could be anything.
Improving your golf. Yeah, anything you want to change, you can do it. But here's how I kind of started bringing my therapies together.
Yeah.
When I learned aromatherapy, which I got when I learned massage therapy, which came after the hypnosis, one kind of led to another. Then I started combining therapies because I noticed that a lot of people will just say one thing works, just like the hypnosis. Yeah,
Right.
that'll work.
That's the magic key.
Or, or it might be acupressure. You do that and that'll work. But if you can combine two or three, and so as an example, with the hypnosis, now I make people an inhaler.
Really?
It's this is like a little inhaler from essential oils. Black pepper essential oil.
Oh, really?
And it's not just my thinking about it. There's research that supports
Yes.
the use of this. That you inhale it, and it's like the black pepper gives you almost like a nicotine hit to the brain. So it can help people with...
I believe it, absolutely.
Yeah. So you combine that, then you help people learn how to do breathing exercises.
Right. Yep.
To do
Breath
that,
work. I do
stress
breath work
reduction
sometimes.
types of things. And maybe even something to help them relax, teas or whatever. And
Yeah.
as I started adding those, the chances of success went up.
Really?
Yes.
And were you were probably intentional with what types of herbs
Yes.
or scents that you used, or even with massage therapy, are there certain like parts of the body that are connected with maybe like emotional
Yes.
root
Yes.
causes, for example?
Okay, so I got into a lot of the energy work. I studied, it's called, I'm a Reiki master. But
Interesting. I didn't know that. Yeah.
but I went on to study something called Healing Touch. And Healing Touch is an international organization that's recognized professionally. And since I was teaching at a college, I thought, this helps to up my credibility. So I went to training in Oklahoma for 7 years on certain weekends. And again, you bring all this stuff together. It just opened my eyes. We had to read things and do practices, and I learned how to use some energy. And I'm not just talking hands-on or close, but things that you can do, between people to help raise energy levels. So I got into oils. I got into different kinds of, like I said, acupressure, moves, visualization, guided imagery.
Right. Oh, there's so
all that
many
stuff.
good things.
And
right?
the crystals. And then I get to the crystals. Oh, yeah. So energy's vibration.
Absolutely.
And where do you find that? You find it in the crystals.
Definitely.
We were talking about like this little smoky quartz. Arkansas crystal.
There it is.
We are famous for our crystal. Well, I guess people may not even know it, but we have fabulous crystals. But the crystals have vibrations energetically.
Absolutely.
So what you're trying to do is match the vibration from the stone with you. And whatever your needs are, because they change, over a period of time. So,
and what would you say is the best way to get yourself to match with that vibration? Is it to hold it that intention, to just spend time with it?
Run your hand over, and we usually tell people it's okay how it looks, but it's not how it looks. It's how it feels and what you're drawn to. And it's like the crystal chooses you. You don't choose the crystal. It chooses you.
You know when it chooses you, when you just have that.
You just will pick it up.
Right. You just feel drawn to it.
And it may not be the biggest one, it may not be the shiniest, but you pick it up. And
that's interesting. I actually, something that I do with crystals, and it's actually proven to really work for me, is I have my little sacred center in my house, and when I have something that I want to manifest, that's like really next level for me, I'll intentionally go buy a crystal that matches the type of energy I want to embody. So, for example, I wanted to manifest a new job. I picked out a crystal, I did a whole intention ceremony, and that one ceremony actually ended up being like 3 ceremonies. So the intention, the momentum was really picking up, just me and myself. And I had this little green crystal, and I was working a job that really triggered a lot of anxiety in me. So I wanted a new job. So while I was still working my old job, I'd bring that little crystal to work, and every time I'd hold it, I'd let it represent that knowingness that it was coming to me. It was like a reminder. So I was able to just, in those moments of anxiety or triggers, I can just tap in for a second. And that's actually proven to be really powerful.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. And you can, I was thinking, I carry rocks. I wear them.
Yep. Too.
But not only that, when you're talking about intention, I write down things that I want to manifest, or I write down things that prayers for somebody or something.
Yeah.
And put it in there with that.
Oh, I like that. I was wondering what those little bags were for.
Yeah.
Oh, I really like that. And I'll have to get one.
So you have that close to your heart, and it's like every time you touch the bag too, you
amplified.
You go back and think about it and do. So, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. So I think part of what I've learned is to try to put some things together and help a person with multiple modalities, depending on what they like.
What resonates with them, what feels good to them.
Sometimes they may not be comfortable with some of the things. So.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
Yeah. I was wondering, what do you think? So, I think something that's so prominent, it's hard to really tap into that space of raising your vibration, feeling that inner peace when you're not familiar and you haven't fully shifted into, all of these different practices. So how do you, or what would you suggest to other people would be a great way to raise their vibration instantly? I think people want to know, how do I raise my vibration so I know that I'm manifesting positive outcomes?
Okay. Part of it is to immediately check your attitude and your thoughts. And if it's going toward negative, you turn it around positive. Because it can, like I said, it's the mind-body thing.
Yep.
If you can think of something that makes you really happy, or a person that makes you feel really happy, you will raise your vibrations. You can. Thinking about it. I have an experiment I do with the students where we have coat hangers to pick up. Are you familiar with dowsing?
No, I'm not actually.
Water witching, it's called.
Okay, maybe a little bit.
So it's using, in this case, it's metal, 2 hangers that you move toward a person, and the hangers will part when they reach the energy field. Now, people douse for water, like guys who dig wells.
Yes, I've been seeing this a lot lately, actually.
And they usually use a big stick. It's
that's so funny.
And it will detect the change in energy. So one of the things that I've done with the students is we've checked their energy level, and then I've had them hold a crystal. They don't even know what it is. I just take and put it in their hand, and then we check the level again, and the field is bigger. Oh. And I've also done it with frankincense.
Oh, okay.
So you hold frankincense, and I didn't tell them what it was, and I didn't tell them what was supposed to happen, and the field gets even bigger.
Really?
And then you can have them think happy thoughts. The greatest thing ever. Try it again. It's bigger. Really? And then you can have them do the opposite. I hate to think of something sad, but you can think of something really, really sad, and you can see it goes in.
Wow.
So it's a way, you can choose. Do you like the crystals? Do you want to do the happy thoughts? Do you want to do some things with some oils?
Yeah.
You can just make your choice.
That's awesome.
Doing so, yeah.
Okay, and let me think what my last question was.
Well, can I add something to what I said?
Because
I brought my tuning fork.
Oh,
One of
I've
the
never
other
used
things
one.
that I mentioned ways to increase your energy is through using vibration and sound. We had the crystal
healing.
bowls downstairs, weren't y'all playing
Yes,
the crystal
we were.
bowls?
Those are great.
So that helps to up. But also, I love tuning forks because they're portable, easy. This one is a 128C auto. C, in the musical scale, 8 hertz is the Earth's vibration. 8
Yes.
plus 8, 16. Then you go 16, 16, 32. And there is a tuning fork that's a 32 hertz. Big vibrations. It's long and
Really?
it's big. And then you can double it to 64, shorter vibrations. This
Right.
one, 128, it's even shorter.
Oh, wow.
But this is like your all-purpose.
The 128 is?
The 128C.
Would that be, if it's related to like a chakra, or would that be like
Yes,
connecting
it
with the
does.
higher energies type thing, instead of more of like 8 hertz being more of like the grounding?
Right.
Got it.
And this is C, which C relates to the root chakra. But you can use tuning forks that for the sounds for each of your chakras.
Oh,
So if
yeah.
you know that you've got, for example, heart issues, then you look at F. So you got C, D, E, F, G, A, and then B on the top. So you can use the tuning fork and place it, or even just wave it around your chakra.
How
Listen
do you
to
use it? Like, I've never seen it in action.
Okay,
I'm like,
let me, hold that.
All right, here we go.
Yes. So, this one, you hold it by the handle. You don't want to hold it like this because it dampens the vibration. And then I hit it on. Now I want you to.
Wow.
And,
It's really low.
okay, yes. You could
In a great
move
way.
it from side to side to help balance hemispheres. Now I want you to see if I can put it on. Let me see here.
Oh, and you can feel that.
Yeah.
Amazing. So the
So you
current
can
is
take
just.
this, and one cool thing now is when you strike this and you put it on the breastbone here, it causes the release of nitric oxide.
Really?
Yes, yes.
And what will that do for the body?
Oh, improve all your circulation.
Amazing.
Oxygen for the body. Tune up. It's a good
Tune up. Good tune up.
So,
Wow.
and
Super
I learned
portable.
in massage to use these to amplify, like if you're working on a certain acupressure point,
Oh,
then
wow.
you can strike it and do.
I have to get into
It-
acupressure because that's
this is
interesting as well.
really, very, of course, other people sing. People make,
Thanks.
sing, they make different vocalizations, that relate to different parts of the body. Music, that's
Yeah.
where music comes in.
I've heard of I think it's called tuning, where you're just like making sounds with your own voice,
Oh,
but it'll
yeah.
heal your own body.
Yeah, they're
as
called
well.
toners. I have
Toners, okay.
several friends and they're toners.
Oh,
They make
really?
they make the tones and do.
need
But
to
you
try
can if you've never read anything by Dr. Deepak Chopra. Okay,
I haven't yet,
he's
but-
got a whole thing on sound, on making sounds. So if you want to, this is kind of a funny one. If you have GERD, acid reflux, the sound you go like this. It's like a laugh, doing your
And
stomach.
it kind of gets that energy
and
right
you're
there,
right
there circulating.
And he's got ones for all different parts of the body.
That's
so
incredible.
if you haven't checked him out, that's pretty good.
That's incredible.
That's something somebody can learn on their own.
Absolutely.
And practice it. See, and that's a useful.
That's so awesome. I definitely have to get myself one of those
Yeah.
because it's super portable.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
I keep one in my office. I keep one
That's
at home.
awesome.
Well, and I've got all kinds of other ones, but yeah, very
that is
useful.
awesome. And then
And you
I
can
heard-
you can
yeah.
use it to clear a room too.
Oh, really? That
yes,
little thing
yeah.
can really clear
Yes.
the energy in the room.
Yeah, you strike it and you start walking around, usually in a clockwise fashion.
Okay.
Yeah, to clear the energy in a room.
I always wonder, I'm like, should it be clockwise or counterclockwise? Like the way the energy is naturally flowing.
If you want to get rid of stuff first, go counterclockwise.
okay.
Because it pulls it. Okay. And then if you want to have good energy going
like
in,
amplifying,
yeah.
adding to it. Right.
Right.
I didn't think. I always wondered. Sometimes I do a Google, but I never really knew That's very
Yeah, I
interesting.
learned when I was doing massage, one of the ways you remember it is if you go clockwise, you're helping in terms of your intestines, your colon, to move things through. If you go counterclockwise, you're backing up, So, yeah.
That's great to know.
Yeah.
And then I have one last question for
Okay.
you. So I think a lot of people are wondering, how do I know what type of energetic blocks I personally have? Where would you start with that? If you're
Okay.
trying to identify, like, where do I need clearing? And you just don't know anything about energy or your own energetic.
Start by
signature.
looking up some things on the chakras. There are excellent questionnaires that
Yep.
will say, give you questions, and then they'll say your root chakra seems to be blocked or you have issues with it or whatever.
Imbalances.
Yeah,
Right, right.
and different
I've done
ways you can
those.
balance. Balance
Yeah.
it. But I'd start with that because that's the easiest for you to get on
Yeah.
your own and do. So
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Thank you.
I've learned a lot. I still learn. Keep going.
Keep going. Keep sharing.
Keep going. Keep sharing.
Spreading it.
Which is
spreading the
why
light.
we have, we're doing little classes here to help people
Yeah.
discover some of this. And that has been very rewarding. It's very good.
And what type of classes do you do?
Oh, on everything. The one I'm doing, let's see, we did one on chakras a couple of weeks ago. I do one once a month. Do it on oils. We do it on energy exercises. This next one is on the body speaks the mind.
The body speaks the mind.
That illnesses that you have may represent emotions and thoughts that you have about yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, constipation. Oh, people who hold
Anything-
things
oh,
in
yeah.
don't want to let go.
Oh, absolutely.
Shoulders, neck issues, bearing a burden. It's very
Absolutely.
interesting. It teaches you to start looking at what's going on.
Absolutely.
And then we kind of worked into that because there are illnesses that affect the left and right sides of the body. The left being the yin side and the right the yang side. So you look at where things occur and what's out of balance. It's back to that balance
Interesting.
idea.
Yeah.
You have to
I think
balance.
I think that about myself, and I'm like, I need to read some more books specifically on it because Google's great, but it only goes so
Right.
far. But I've been thinking the same thing. I have a little tendon thing in my left wrist right
Yes.
now, or even how you were saying about we often think in Western medicine, and it's an external thing. So allergy season has
Yeah.
been crazy for me specifically this year, but I haven't been taking any Benadryl or anything.
Okay.
So instead of looking at it as, it's the pollen that's causing it, let me take this. Instead, thinking about what imbalances, I'm drinking coffee, it's acidic, or processed foods, or
Yeah.
emotional ties, things that I know I can dive deeper into. And I don't know if you have ever heard of Ayurveda.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I've been looking into that. And
That's Dr. Chopra. That's his area. See?
Yeah, and it's been great because I've found more resources and things that I can look into
Yeah.
to help alleviate my allergies for next
Yeah.
season than I have with any type of Western medicine. So it's great to have that well-rounded perspective of
I was going to
of
tell
energy
you
and
for
healing.
your wrist, what
Yes,
you were
yes.
talking about. One of the things that you can do yourself is take your right hand
yes.
and, well, you don't have to do it at this moment, but take your right hand and you're going to put it over that area and you're going to think that you are sending really good energy to that area.
I have done it a couple times lately. I went down to the creek and sat down for meditation, and I even took, some of the fresh water. I just do a little bit, just sending that intention and that surplus of energy there. But I definitely could do that every
See,
single day.
You have minor chakras in your palms.
Yeah.
So they taught us in energy work to bring energy up and bring energy down, and it meets here.
Right.
And then you've got it available here to
Yes.
share with somebody.
Yeah.
So this one, you can take things away, and I'm still that one, you can give the energy.
Wow.
Yeah. It
That's
just
so
all kind
awesome.
of goes back, and I guess I found it profound after I studied it enough to know that every culture has this. Mm-hmm. They use different terms, terminology,
Exactly,
but the
right.
concepts and the
Are the same.
techniques are virtually the same. So you're talking the same language.
Right. Even with you can see connections in religion talking about
Yes.
God, source, spirit, it really is talking about this same power.
Same.
And yeah, there are different beliefs out there, but it's so empowering to, we see the evidence, energy's there. We see these modalities really work. So
Yes.
it's really empowering that we can control much more within ourselves and how things manifest for ourselves with the awareness. It's beautiful.
Well, I'm glad you're learning, and you're going to
Yes,
continue.
thank you so much.
And I think you'll discover a lot of things
Oh, yeah.
that will benefit you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
Thank you for sharing
All right,
all of your
thank
wisdom
you.
and sitting here with me.
Okay.
And thank you guys for your time and your energy here today. Really appreciate it. And this has been Let the Light Travel
Okay.
with Miss Sheila. Thank you so, so much.
All right. Thank y'all.
Appreciate it.